Hello and welcome to another Culture Foolishness Power Recap. This is for Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4, Episode 8. And it was a doozy, folks, as
It
all of
was a
these.
doozy.
I am Creed of Exodus Studios, architectsmars.com, and my co-host Eon.
Coach, Tamara Simone, your favorite life coach's favorite life coach. If you don't know, now you know.
Baby, baby. So, Carter just started off the episode line just right off the bat. Like the last two episodes has just started off with him lying, actually.
Just deceit. Just deceit.
So this one, this is obviously had to lie about what happened to
Cocaine
Cocaine
Lane.
Lane.
So Carter then somehow made it look like Cocaine Lane died in a car accident.
I mean, after the way her face got crushed, it wasn't that hard.
It does justify that aspect of it. I'm just curious as to like how, like, did you make it look like she ran into some shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it just her involved? Was it
Yeah, that's the curious part because it's like, okay, so you're saying this, but how did you achieve this? I would have liked to see the how to that one, but they just, they wanted to move
they
on.
just told you, right? It was like Cocaine Lane is gone. Y'all didn't like her anyway, so let's just move on. Let's just move forward. Hey,
Oh my God. So
some people need to go quickly.
that's true.
I hate to be that person, but
Yeah,
power
I
makes
mean,
you
yeah, sometimes you'd be like, just wrap this motherfucker up.
right.
Uh,
Get them up out of
so
here.
after that, well, actually, before I move completely from that, the other partner, the other Robin killing
So his
part,
name is Nico.
Nico. Yes, he did have a good name. I do remember that. I remember his name, but he's still a piece of shit.
I was
So
going to say, do we call him Narcotic Nico?
we
Like, what do
should.
we?
We
Okay,
should. But he seemed suspicious, but he went on ahead and kind of, bought whatever Carter was talking about, but he kind of side-eyed it. He like,
yes,
I
which
don't
he's been
know.
doing quite a
Lately.
bit of
And yeah,
lately,
as he should, to
and
be
rightfully
honest.
so.
As he should.
Your boy is
So,
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
he's gone. So, after that, they showed basically Monet and
Tariq
Tariq kind of plotting on
at
the
the bar
house.
that no one is ever at. Let's
Yes.
just talk about that. There's no
Well,
bartender there.
they just
It's
be in there
just
talking.
it's just them alone.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's that's the purpose of it.
I guess.
Uh,
So they are, talking about Carter, like how the hell do we, shake this fool? Diana just really put us in a situation. Da 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 da. So they're, kind of strategizing,
right.
and um Tariq kind of comes up with the idea that, if we can get Carter off of us if we make him start to focus on Noma.
Mm-hmm. But
Or
whatever
we
they
can
be
tell
thinking,
Noma,
right.
right? We could tell Noma that Carter's on her so that she'll get him about out the paint.
They basically trying to pit them against each other, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, that was kind of like, what they kind of came up with. Then we see Drew getting basically shown his position with Carter, which basically is replacing Zion, essentially.
Correct.
So he meets up with the little crew. They was respecting him. He was feeling himself. I saw that little they
That's
like
all.
me smirk.
Yeah, it was just like a yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
nigga again.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe you could get a haircut at this point, at some point, because I know it's rough. I get it. You've been on the run, shit been going on, but you are not, and I have to say it. you are not representing your community well because they would have been got a haircut. I'm sorry. Like it's not even realistic that you
You
gay.
know, I'm just gonna say that he's in mourning and he's no longer at a place where he even wants to be attractive. Cause as soon as somebody think he cute, then they gonna die.
Okay. Still doesn't track. I'm
I
still
mean, I mean, you know how I feel about men getting regular haircuts.
oh
I'm just saying, just trying to play God's advocate.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So,
So from there we go to Tariq and Braden, and they are, what were they talking about in
well,
this?
essentially, from the dialogue, it appears that Tariq kind of told Braden like about the whole Carter
Yes,
situation,
yes, yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
Braden is like Braden's packing his shit,
Mhm.
and he's like, man, we can't take out no cop, da da da, whatever, whatever. And then he kind of tells him like, oh, we back in, like Effie didn't hand it over the whole shit, so we good. And then it kind of turns into a bit of a disagreement because Braden, just admits that he's simping out and moving in with his girl that he
Mhm.
loves. And, Tariq just can't stop chuckling.
Right. He's like, dog, like this ain't the move. Like at best get your own crib, but don't be moving in with the chick. But Braden knows is wide
Braden
open.
is gone. He's gone.
Mm.
So, I mean, hey, once you go black, ain't that what they say?
That's what they be
Once
saying.
you go.
That's what they be saying. I don't think it worked for them as much. So the next scene, I think they shifted to um
Was it with Monet and
Monet and Tariq going to Noma and Kane,
Kane?
but they basically threw off they plan discussion because now he's marrying her. So
Well,
that
even,
kind of, they said it, but it wasn't the way. I don't think it went the way they wanted it to go because Monet was
well,
thrown off by that shit.
Well, even before that, because like that happened at the end of the scene. Like they presented
Oh, you
the
right, you right.
situation, and essentially Norman was like, okay, so what does he, if he got something on me, what does he have on me? And they didn't really say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nome was like, yeah, I'm good. Y'all can be gone. And Monet got irritated and then that and started, cussing and doing what Monet does.
Yes,
And then
yes.
that's when it was brought up that they were engaged, which
Mm-hmm.
irritated her more and made Tariq chuckle more. You notice Tariq is just laughing at these niggas when it comes to
Because it's
love.
dumb. He like these idiots. We are in the game. What are y'all doing? This all of this is dumb.
Yeah, he's like,
Um,
I'm just out here fucking these hoes
that's
and
what I'm
moving this
doing.
weight.
Come on, and they gonna be fine every mother time. That's what I do.
And I'm keeping my
Uh,
grades up. That nigga there.
he does keep his grades together in spite of being a very high level drug dealer. It's very unrealistic. So, I mean, this is the crime cartoon. I've said it many times. So this scene kind of got extended because after they leave, Davis and Effie come in.
Well, Davis comes first.
Right. Davis comes in first, and then of course he's salty as hell once he finds out what's going on because he been knocking her back the past couple
Yes.
episodes for real.
Yes. So he's a little thrown off and not too happy about it.
Right.
And then Effie comes in. And at this point, Effie is just used to niggas just not choosing her. But, you know, I mean, we just gonna keep it a book. She's just used to not being chosen. So while she feels a way, she, has a crazy poker face. So she's just
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I ain't fucking with no more. Say less. What do you need me to do? All right, can I go now?
Right.
So, you know,
She's just trying to get to Stanford at this point. I
yes.
mean, and I don't
She's like, let
blame
me just get the fuck away from all these people.
because all of y'all suck.
And they do.
They do hard.
And
Yeah.
maybe some people at Stanford will choose her.
I think that
Just
she
maybe.
has a high chance of getting chosen at Stanford if she pretend that she didn't be out here being a drug dealer in New York. Then she got a good chance.
Hey.
Cause them Stanford boys don't want no part of that. So, after that whole exchange, no, I mean, no, Monet and Tariq link up with Davis.
Yes.
So they trying to, get this little setup in order as far as giving Carter the government contact to where he can now catch Noma
Well, they
in
don't
the
even know
whole
about the
thing.
government
Well, Davis is
Tariq
about to
and
tell him,
well, yeah. So that
right, in
so
that.
Mon so Monet and Tariq don't. They just know like, hey, we need to get something on her.
We
You
know
her
you got it,
lawyer.
right.
So what can you give us? And so he tells Davis tells them about the front business and the debacle, the snafu that she's in, and how she's trying to rectify said snafu. And so they are essentially using that. Um, they're going to use that as leverage for Carter. The issue is that the only person who knows about that snafu other than Kane is Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like, if it comes back, then
It's gonna
she's
come
gonna
back
know
on
it's
me.
me. Mm-hmm. Yes,
And as Davis always does, he figures out a way around that shit. We will get to that later on because
indeed.
he's at the end of the day, this Method Man, and he's just doing dope shit, and that's what it is.
Although a little further than that, then we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, is there anything else you want to talk about that happened after that that you
Um,
can think of?
you're better with going scene by scene. I just
Mm-hmm.
be randomly
Yeah,
thinking of stuff.
yeah,
But I no, I like us doing this way. It's like we're really walking
yeah.
the people through the episode, and I love that for us. I know exactly what happened in the scene. I just don't know the order in which it
Right,
occurred
right,
for
right,
real.
right. Well, at this point, we are at the club that Drew is running, and Kane comes in there and confronts him, and they have one of their, obligatory arguments for the episode where, you
Yes,
a bitch ass nigga, you a bitch ass nigga, you a mama's boy, you on sucking on Noma titty. It just, back and forth, back and forth.
yes,
And essentially he gets just more of an idea of how deep that Drew is in with Carter, and
correct.
that's really kind of what I feel like the point of that
Of
whole
that visit.
sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which, obviously Drew being Drew, he kind of rattles the cage and, fucks up some more stuff.
He figures out a way to finagle. He had smart moments that we'll
Mm.
get into later on. Or something like that. Um, what was after that? Was it the scene with Braden and his girl?
Yes, so Braden goes over to the chick's house and she done OD'd.
She didn't fuck around and OD. She
Like,
just laid out. It's
it's
like,
bad. It's
is this
bad.
your queen? Nigga, is this your damn queen? Ugh, foam all at the mouth. Lord, give me a knife.
Yeah, it's bad.
Um,
Also, Noma's daughter confronts her about like what is going on, and she's like the police after her, and then
right. She's like, you
Noma,
marrying this fool
right,
and blah
marrying
blah
this
blah.
young drug dealer. Like this makes absolutely no sense. And she said half your age too, which it tracks if she got her old ass and she in college. So yeah, she probably is at least 15 or so years older than Kane, because I can see him still being in his late 20s for or at least 30 at best.
No, for the
Oh,
purpose of the show, like he's mid 20, he's like you got
yeah,
to
he
think about
probably
it,
like
like
right. He probably like
because you got to think about it.
26 or something.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like Monet had these kids close together. Like Diane is the
Mm-hmm.
is the youngest, and she's,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say, 20
Uh-huh.
or something.
2021. Yeah.
And then you got Drew, who's probably like 23.
Uh-huh.
So he got to be like 25, 26 in the
Okay.
show.
That's true. So
So,
yes, half the age. She's concerned as she should be, not knowing her mom
and
ain't
a
shit
little disgusted,
and a
which
little
she also
disgusted.
should be.
And she is. She was like, the D must be good. I was like, you ain't shit for that.
But
Um,
she wasn't lying.
you ain't lying. You ain't lying. She ain't lying. And she ain't lying. So she just basically, gnomes it up like she always does, and she
I
done
was just trying
blamed
to protect you,
everything
love.
on the daddy.
Everything I do is for you.
Right.
Like,
So she blamed everything on the dad, saying he was a drug dealer, and that's why the cops are sniffing around her because her connection to him, and you know, the huge.
she does. She is pretty kind of honest about like the whole Kane thing. Is she's like, well, he's not a complete idiot, but then
No, which is
also,
true.
kind of need him, for this purpose. So, I mean, you
She's
know,
partially telling the truth with
yeah,
that one, which for
there's
the
that.
daughter, that's the best she gonna get from her any damn way.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Did your light go out or something?
I don't know what happened.
It look
Um,
dark now.
it's dark. No, my light right here.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know either.
Now it
Anyway,
looks better. There
well,
you
there
go.
we go.
Maybe I have to get closer. I don't know.
We back in there. So anyway, um, so I mean, just real quick, going back to Braden, the
Mm-hmm.
girl in OD,
Mm-hmm.
and um, she's in the hospital, and essentially the doctor is like,
She
"Did you
had
take what?"
fentanyl, yeah.
Right? Did you take what she took? Because what she took was laced with fentanyl. And so now he goes through her phone to figure out who the hell did she get this from. Because he's like,
Mm-hmm.
my shit is pure. Fuck, you
Right.
ain't called me. But she's mad at you. So, because you
Mm-hmm.
jacked up everything, being all high and crazy.
Right. So
So
you went
that's,
to a
she went
low
to
level
Steve.
person.
She went to Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of how that plays out. Um,
Drug dealers always named Steve. That's so interesting.
Anywho, we don't do no dry snitching at Cultured Foolishness podcast.
I'm just that's what's happening on the show and the other shows. It's
Now the
always a
feds just
Steve.
out here looking for niggas named Steve because of you. I'm sorry, Jaleel White, because they gonna be on his ass next. Like Steve Urkel, I heard he got some marijuana, and I don't know how legal it is. Fucking with you. Anyway,
Oh Lord. So
anyway,
let's see. Kane and Monet have another encounter about the marriage, and she's pissed, obviously,
correct.
trying to get through to him, but he kind of like fuck you. But I mean, she created that energy, unfortunately.
Yes, indeed, she did, and that's just where they are.
And then what's
And
the
then
dog? His
Anya,
yeah, she pops up like
she
after
pops up on him like, okay, who is you?
yeah,
I
who
have
are you?
questions.
And seeing his crib, she like, how you do all this, sir? And you 25. And
Legitimate questions, but
yeah, I mean,
she also doesn't have any skill in actually getting information
no.
in a tactical way because
Mm-mm.
she's too busy being stuck up and snooty and
Mm-hmm.
talking shit. And
Right.
no one wants to divulge information to someone who they know looks down on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just like, here's a couple $100, get the fuck out my face. Told her ass to go make a TikTok.
That was funny. He's had some pretty good one-liners the past couple episodes. I'm still tripping off the one from the last episode. Come with me, Caucasian male. That was so ridiculous. So, let's talk about Diana for a second, because I
You know,
just
I no, yes, but no, what I'll say, because Diana is, because of the loss of the baby,
mm-hmm,
then she is in a very delicate place. Once she's stalking the kid after she didn't kill Cocaine Elaine, she's stalking Cocaine Elaine's child because she's overwhelmed with guilt.
mm-hmm,
But it's also like, well, you also didn't have to do that shit, and literally everybody told you to chill. So you have to live with the choices that you make, Dirty Diana.
mm-hmm,
But even outside of that, she, since losing the baby, then she's like, well, I want another one. Like this can't be. I don't want to accept this.
mm-hmm.
And without getting deep, as someone who has experienced that, makes complete sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense because, but okay, let's back it up. I'll say this, and this is kind of coincide with what you're saying. Clearly, this person just uses their heart for every decision that has been made in the show, and you know me, anti-heart decision making person. It just reeks of like, are you fucking stupid? So I have to like step back, realize everybody processes things differently, but my first thought
No,
is
I know,
you're
but
dumb. Like, you lucky that that baby got lost, that you don't have to
that's not
deal with
how she's
all
looking
of
at
this
it.
nonsense that was
But
connected
she
to it.
doesn't see it that way. And, when the little peon is in the womb, then, especially when it's wanted, then there's a
Hmm.
connection there. So that connection was lost. And it's one of those things where you didn't even realize that you wanted it until it was gone. Um,
Hmm.
or you didn't realize how much you wanted it
Right,
until it
because
was
she was
gone.
already
She
kind of
was
like,
on board, but now it was like, damn. So, now she's like, well, shit, Tariq, let's run it back. Now he's thinking like, oh shit, we about to like practice. That's cool. Let me, what I'm saying, get the jimmies out. And then she's like, we don't need them. Would it be
right.
so bad getting pregnant by me again? Yes,
Yes,
it would.
actually, it would be terrible. I don't know how
It's like,
you saw how it was going last time. The shit was not good at all. It really was bad for real, but we were just dealing with it because it was happening,
because
and
it happened, and
your
we're
ass
not
didn't
we're not
want to
gonna
go
put
to the chop
ourselves
shop, so
we're
we
not gonna
just
put
have to
ourselves
deal with it.
back in the situation just just to fulfill your emotional desires, because your emotional desires are just not in
Uh,
alignment with the greater good.
with logic, with actual logical thinking. Every decision that this little girl had made
Why
is
he get now?
just
Now she a little girl. He
because
yelling
she
at her.
acting like a little girl.
He yelling.
Because she does, just slow as hell.
She's not even old enough to drink. We figured that out. Her emotions are rampant.
Mm, mm, mm.
I didn't say it's okay. I'm explaining. Explaining is not excusing, ladies and gentlemen. I am not, because for one, yes, she's tripping. She's tripping hard. And shout out to what's the girl's name?
I forgot her little girlfriend, but she told her, she was like, "Look, I got cousins that had kids, and they can't do nothing."
Light skinned Keisha. Everybody, that's her real name. But well, that's her music name.
Oh,
That's her,
okay.
but
Oh, she does.
I, well, she was on Love and Hip Hop. What that's not the
Oh,
point. But yeah, no, that's she was on Love and Hip Hop. She did
okay.
music and everything out in Atlanta,
Okay.
and yes, and so so good for her. But her name is like Sharonda. So it's something. It's one of them. Anyway, basically, she's just Diana confides in her to be like, man, like, is it normal? Is it bad that I want to like get pregnant again? And he's like, no, it's normal. A lot of
Right.
when lose a baby, they try to saying recreate it, like blah blah whatever. And a lot of times, women do get pregnant after they've had a miscarriage because they're like trying to fill the void of what they
Mm-hmm.
lost.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but she tells her, like, hey, that life ain't what you want. Like, it's hard and your life is over once their life begins. And you just need to focus on being and being in school and being a good student. She get look, it was very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good advice.
Mm-hmm. You know she don't want to listen because she's fucking slow or
She
something.
doesn't want to listen, but every time she do what she want to do, then everything is just terrible. So it's
Terrible.
like you have
Stop
to,
doing what you want to do and
because
listen to
what you
other
want to
people
do is just
is
literally fucking awful.
just
Every bit
dumb
of
every
what you want to do
time.
is just bad. It's just
Oh,
not
it's just
good.
always bad.
Okay,
Anyway,
so
we're gonna
let's
stop
move
beating
on
up
from
on
Diana.
Diana.
Well,
So, so the next thing I want to talk about is the meeting with Carter, Monet, and Tyreek when they basically gave
Andrew,
and Drew. I was gonna get to him. Where they basically was like, yo, this is what she's doing with the government nigga, Sterling, such and such. I'm sorry. And
you've been hanging with Kane, haven't you?
I mean, they say it so many times in the show. I'm sorry, I just
You over
watched
there with that judicial nigga, like, oh,
it.
okay.
So they have their meeting. Drew is there. Monet and Drew talk a little bit. She's like, why are you doing this? He's like, basically, in a nutshell, I done got a little taste of some power and I like it. And this is what I'm doing right now.
I'm gonna
And
do me, and it's not personal.
in the very next part, which was actually fucking funny because this motherfucker was doing the damn Sherman Hemsley walk to from Amen to the damn uh like club and Kane and Noma bought that motherfucker.
Just to fuck with him.
And then he
Uh,
like, and I liked his little, they had a little back and forth there that was kind of comical. I'm not gonna lie.
yes.
So, in the midst of that, Braden wants to go see
He
good
wants to
old
regulate
Steve,
against Steve. And
and he
he
gets
calls
Tariq.
Tariq and asks him like, "Hey, and Tariq is like, okay, bro, I got you,
He's
because
down
he
for the
thinking, okay,
cause,
right, look, he gonna fight. Look,
right?
I'll whoop some ass real quick. Look, I ain't got shit to do
Right,
right now. Look,
right.
I've done my homework already,
Right.
and
Ain't no problem. Ain't no
yeah,
problem.
so um he's like, yeah, cool, let's go ahead. Now I ain't gonna front that it was kind of funny how they bust in there and Brayden just made him sniff his own shit like several times. He's like, if it ain't lace, then you do a line. Do
Right.
another line. Now
Yep.
do another line. I was like, okay.
And then it got out of hand. It got out of hand
It was
fairly
funny at
quickly
first. It
and
escalated quickly.
very quickly. And then, he did his impression of Tommy and just
Man, he
nutted
canceled
off.
Christmas for Steve. That's all we're gonna say. He
Man,
canceled Christmas for
birthday, everything.
Steve.
It's all around.
I just feel like Steve had plans for Christmas
He
and
probably
he
did.
canceled.
They're
He
done.
canceled.
Can't do
They're
nothing. No
they
PS5s for nobody. So,
so now Tariq is like, bro, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing?
right, you wilding. And they had to run out of there. They didn't even get to clean up the body. Like everything was fucked. So
Yes.
hopefully they don't get caught up for that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, good Lord, wipe your fingerprints off of
Like Jesus,
the
like you
shit.
were
Like
all over the place up in here. You done been to jail before they got your prints, nigga.
both of y'all.
Both of y'all, right. So, the next scene is actually funny because that was the rebut to what Noma, well, more so Kane.
Well, Kanan, I mean, he couldn't have did it without her money.
Right,
So
but
them buying the
still
building.
mostly him
Well,
putting it in
yes,
motion just to fuck with Drew. So he figured out when they got a gun shipment coming in, and this fool, of course, tips off Carter and them, and then they whole shit gets seized. And he texted the fool to let him know he did it because he's petty. And I laughed very hard at that scene because Kane was mad, and I just like when Kane is upset because I don't care for his ass either. He really get on my nerves, but I don't like none of the Tejadas for real. Like, no, I don't like none of them. Nope, nope, I don't.
I've just grown to accept
Yeah, because
it.
Mary J. Blige, I just like she be wearing them little outfits sometimes. I'll be like, oh, that is a good one, girl. How you find not 50 something? Do
Anyway,
it.
um,
Oh, a rare scene when they were in school.
yes,
Um, I don't even remember what they were talking about. It's so much mess to be going
evil. They were
on.
talking about like I get
Ah,
the
of
evil,
course. They always do something that's kind of like related to what's
the,
kind of happening.
right.
And they were basically talking about what absolute evil exists or what is the motivations of evil and all of this type shit, right?
Hmm.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And Diana, what does she say? Because I know
Well, she
she.
wasn't paying attention because she was too busy stalking Cocaine Lane's son,
Mm,
and she got called out in class, and homegirl, light
mhm.
skinned Keisha, kind of helped her out and got her out that jam. That's what led to the conversation about like move on, get past this shit, go on about your business.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That is it.
Yes.
That is what is happening. So let's
So,
see.
oh, so we got to talk about Noma going to dinner with the government, the government official, because
Yes.
and because Carter knew about it, then the place was like tapped or like it was.
Well, they had an operative in there,
Yes,
and
yes,
then
it was a setup
it
basically.
was a setup. Yeah, total
And
setup.
so um Davis pops up unexpected, like, but he is
Mm-hmm.
her lawyer, so he kind of leads with that, and he slips her a note to let her know what's going down in the town, and because of that, then she swiftly gets out of that jam, so
Mm-hmm.
they don't have anything to incriminate her as it pertains to trying to bribe a government official.
Right. So, of course, Carter's pissed because he's like, what the fuck? Like, I thought we had this all locked up and they
Mm-hmm.
didn't dipped. And then not Carter, Davis basically it seems like they planned it that way. Excuse me. Because that whole sequence weaponizes her because now she want to go after Carter, which was the
Correct.
whole point of
In the
that
first
whole
place.
thing. So I think that was what he decided to do to kind of like, you know, get himself in a position where he's not all fucked up, but at the same time putting her in the position where they want her in anyway. I want to talk about that scene with Effie and her mom really quick because that
Yes, we do need
was
to talk about
really
that. That was
intense.
insightful. Effie's
Yes.
mom pops up on campus on her, and
Mm-hmm.
essentially she just wants some money, just like ain't shit people. Just pop up, you talk to
Mm-hmm.
them, don't fuck with them like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
she popped up trying to be on some sympathy stuff, like, oh, Richard he left and blah blah blah, and I need money and I'm sad now. And then that's
Right.
when Effie reveals, like, oh, you want me to feel bad about the man who you let molest me.
Oopsies.
So, you know, basically she's like F you forever,
Mm-hmm.
the hell out my
As she
face.
should. As she should.
And she just skedaddles. So it was interesting to understand that part of her, and what she's been through, her background and all of the things. So yeah.
So, let's see. So they try to bribe Nico,
Right.
Noma does,
Noma and Kane try to
and
bribe
and
Nico.
and that doesn't really stick, although he does lie and act like he didn't take no money, which I
Right.
ain't mad
So
at
he
him.
goes and tells crazy ass Carter.
What
Um
happened, up deleting the part that he kept money, of
but
course.
he's like, okay, well, go ahead and put a meeting in motion
Hmm.
or whatever, act like you had to change your heart or something. So puts the meeting in motion, and Nico don't show. Narcotic Nico, he doesn't show, but
But
crazy
Carter
Carter
do.
does. So Noma's there with Carter,
Hmm.
and Noma, she's strategic, so she's
Oh
like, well,
yeah.
let's figure out a way to work together. Like, let's cut
And
out these middle people and let's work together. And I could hook you up and help you out. And I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
and she was giving him the you still Michael Ealy with the green eye looks too.
But that nigga's so crazy and his man.
Oh,
He's like,
oh no, no.
my wife is
Oh,
at home
he's
waiting on
not
me.
doing anything. I'm just saying that she be just looking at all the handsome men like they're handsome. You could tell. She'd be like, okay, you cute too. But it doesn't matter because he crazy in the cat shit, so she ain't gonna get no fun out of him.
So we'll see
This
what happens next week,
we'll
ladies and
see.
gentlemen.
We'll see because it's
Issues
set
real.
up. It's set up. Like now we got all the players in place. It looked like some good betrayals
Yes,
afoot for the
indeed.
next one. So we will be back for episode 9 because it's getting good, folks. This has been Culture Foolishness Recap of Power. I am Creed of Exit Studios and ArchitectsMars.com and my co-host Eon.
Coach Tamara Simone, people.
See y'all next week.